Evening. This video documentation in regards to the Euro E36 chassis headlights. I understand you purchased the Euro version, of which I'm using the exact same. The only difference that these headlights that I'm utilizing would be the angelized, which yours will be an upgraded add-on. So in a sense, I'm taking the time to give you an accurate overview on how we pretty much pair the wirings to power these UHP angelized. So if you can bear with me for a second, I've already explained before how the pigtail harness is set up for the 9006 low beam, 9005 high beam connectors, whereas the gray wire would be the new function, either the angelized. For this case, pretty much this wire triggers what we call the city light, which is the parking lights for the European vehicles. So in a sense, if you can bear with me, whether if we leave the socket piece inside the headlight or not, for your setup, we'd either remove the socket piece or remove the bulb, so this wouldn't activate when this is powered. So that being said, if the bulb is still present and this is what you're seeing dimly lit, this explains everything perfectly fine. However, if you're mentioning it's actually the high beam that's dimly lighting, that's something that I haven't seen before, being the case that the positive terminals for all these functions are separated. The only thing that's shared will be the grounding brown wire negative. So going further upon on this, so what you'll see inside the headlights, if you take the time to open up the rear housing cap, will be actually an LED driver, which it might be a small plastic box that regulates the current that's being fed to the LED angelite rings. So the LED driver would actually have wires coming up and borrowing power. And where this borrowing power would be actually from this gray wire positive and the grounding negative of this T10 socket. So again, if you open up your headlights, either would cut this out, remove the socket piece completely, and solder the wires to the driver, or we pretty much utilize tap splice to pretty much tap the LED driver wires to this. So in a sense, you can clearly see that there's not a lot of rewirings going about this. It's pretty much directly wired to the feed. So for instance, from the angelized to the driver, from the driver to this, the gray positive wire leading to the Euro connector, from the Euro connector feeding to the pigtail harness. Again, you can clearly see that the positive pin is indicative on the bottom section of this Euro connector, which is the gray wire that's feeding out from this connector. So again, my question would be, or my confusion would be, how in a sense that if you're able to, ground the negative, which I'm showing this right now. In this instance, you can choose any grounding negative, the brown wires being the case. You can see that these two brown wires are conjoined to this grounding pin, which this stems inside and splits off to all your grounding terminals. So again, it's my choice to choose which grounding wire I would like to use, which I'll use the low beam for this instance. So I have this grounded. Now I have the positive feed from my positive test lead. Turn it on. So again, this is actually going to be my angel eye wire for you. For me, it's going to be the city light wire. So if I hit positive, I'm expecting this bulb to light up, which is the case that you see right now. So again, you'll see it light up. You'll notice that if I trigger this on, you do not see the high beam ever coming on, which is my question to you, how it's possible for the high beam to be triggered on even though it lights dimly. So, one more time. Powering, powering. You don't see the high beam coming on. If you can get the camera around here, we'll still see that I'm triggering the city light to come on. So in a sense, the power, all it's been borrowing for the angelized will be actually this wire leading to the socket piece. Again, whether if our warehouse staff pretty much chop this off to directly solder onto the driver wires, or they'll use this wires to tap splice it to your driver wires. So if I can kindly ask you to take the time, maybe during the weekend or when you have more time, to slightly free the headlight side up, being the case you don't have to remove the bumper for this, just to open up the rear housing caps. Show me what you're seeing in regards to this portion of the wiring. Again, if the socket is present, it's pretty much stuck on the base right here, clipped right in, which again, you depress it, slide it right out, done deal. So if you can help me and bear with me, locate these two wires and show me how they've been worked to your LED drivers. My assumption is it's either going to be directly soldered or tap spliced. If this is the case, I'm wondering if the T10 wedge bulb is still present on your end, and if this is the wedge bulb that you're talking about that turns on or lights up, illuminates within the housing. I'll give you an example of this right now. Bear with me. Getting the socket piece back in is a little difficult. Alright. So, one more time. I'll have my coworker swing the camera in the front. Power supply. If this is what you're seeing, please report at me immediately, which pretty much everything clarifies at this point that this is the wedge bulb that you're seeing turning on for your setup. If it is indeed not the wedge bulb and it's a high beam, please, I need your assistance in opening up the rear housing and help me out any form of documentation to give me a better understanding why you're experiencing this concern. Because my understanding is you probably utilize this gray wire to tap it to another feed that probably wants to act the angel as your daytime running light. So I just want to sort everything out, being the case. All of this is pretty much standard practice setup for our E36 headlight sites. So again, with your assistance, we'll further look into this in regards to why this is happening. Thank you so much for your time.